Tell me about your sermon preparation process.
I love prep because what I like to do, and I get this from Dr. Barber. Dr. Barber said that on Sunday night, you ought to sit and at least have an idea of where you're going for the next Lord's Day. Mm-hmm. And even if it's a scant thought, jot it down on a piece of paper and let that be kind of a guiding norm for the next couple of days. Yeah. And for the next few days, you begin to expand that thought. One of the things that I've always believed in is that in sermon preparation, you are guided by the text, and out of the text comes the subject. Yeah. That you really don't get a subject and then hunt or search for a text. Right. So if I have a thought in my mind, I want that thought to have an accompanying scripture. Yeah. So with that thought, there ought to be some text in mind. And I kind of look at the text and give some thought to how I want to approach it. The next day or two, do some exegetical work on the text. And about that third day, I want to form an outline. Mm-hmm. And I write out a full outline of the sermon, a full skeleton. Okay. I do that every week. And from that skeleton, I then put meat on the bones. Okay. Because even though I don't use a manuscript, still I write a manuscript. And I write the manuscript because writing the manuscript gives me precision. Mm-hmm. And it helps me to really focus organizationally in what I'm dealing with. Right. I try my best to have my sermon written by Thursday or Friday. Mm-hmm. In my earlier years, I would wait until Saturday, until I discovered that Saturday night specials kill. But I try my best to have it done by Thursday or Friday, and then Saturday I spend time, maybe about an hour, rereading it. And I'll take my manuscript with me into the pulpit and read through it while the worship experience is going on. And then in most instances, I'll put it away. Sometimes I'll put it up there at the beginning if there are certain particulars that I want to be precise about. Yeah. And once I do that, I'll tuck it away. But by and large, I don't use notes when I preach.
So you wouldn't consider yourself a manuscript preacher then?
No, not at all.
Okay, so behind you're up preaching, there are no notes, but behind this is a written manuscript.
A written manuscript. Behind the sermon is a full skeletal outline. Okay. And a manuscript. Okay. So there are two documents. Mm-hmm. And I'm not one who's into technology, so I don't type and use the computer and all of that. And after 54 years, I'm still writing sermons longhand.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still writing sermons longhand.
So these are archived somewhere, I'm sure?
Yes, I have them in little Scully books.
How many years of Scully books do you have?
Oh my God. That coupled with legal pads, and my God, you're looking at 50 years, at least. If I've been preaching 54 years, you're looking at 54 years worth of work. I just moved, I recently married. And in moving, I discovered old manuscripts from years ago. And it was fascinating to stop at certain points and look at some of those manuscripts and say to yourself, how did the people suffer this? How did they put up with this nonsense? You look back at those early years and you say to yourself, they had to suffer through all of this. And you fall down on your knees and say, God, forgive me. But it's a good growth tool to look back and see what you did and what you are doing. And even now, after 54 years, I still get great joy out of preparing and writing a sermon. And I refuse to relax on my laurels. You know, I know guys who go back and preach sermons from 15, 20 years ago, and there are some sermons that you could perhaps go back and resurrect. Yeah. But at the same time, I believe in freshness. And if you're still pastoring of people who are listening to you every week, they deserve, I think, the best of your study, the best of your preparation. And I seek to do that.